Due to the video nature of this podcast, I recommend joining us at edtech10.nationaltrail.us or our YouTube bit.ly edtech10. Hi, and welcome to 10-Minute EdTech. Today we're going to talk about green screening, specifically on how we can use it in the classroom. If you watched my recent OETC class, you know this was two 45-minute sessions that I'm going to cut down to 10 minutes, meaning that I'm going to give you the meat and potatoes as quickly and as succinctly as I can with what you need to get started. I've got some bit.lys that I want to show you as far as hardware materials, because the first thing you need is you need your stuff. You need some kind of a green screen. I'm in front of a painted wall, but at home in my basement I use this bit.ly right here as a green screen. It's $23 on Amazon right now. Also for cameras, you can use any webcam that you've got. I'm going to show you with the least expensive IPEVA DO cam today. This is a webcam that we've used. I am recording with the camera that you see right here, the shortcut link for that. Also from Amazon, both of those are less than $100 as far as that goes. And then if you need a microphone, we use here at National Trail snowball mics for everything, but then I've also got a lapel mic and a wireless lapel mic that I thought I should share with you as well. If you can't see, you're listening to this audio only, then you can find this Google slide shared at bit.ly /ntgreen10. And that's all lowercase, ntgreen10. So you can just go straight to that or go to our site at edtech10.nationaltrail.us, and that'll be shared there as well as a video. So let's get into it. Those are the things that you need. You need a green background, you need a camera, and you need a microphone if the webcam doesn't have one. The first thing we're going to use is OBS Studio. I've been using OBS Studio for years. It's free. It stands for Open Broadcasting Software, and it's available for free multi-platform at obsproject.com. That's obsproject.com. Just download and install that. There's only one question it really asks you during the install, and that's whether you're going to use this to stream with or record. If you're doing this to green screen with, you're doing it to record most likely, although you can green screen live while you're streaming. If you're trying to do a student news broadcast, weather broadcast, news of the day, you could do that all green screened live if you were so inclined to stream it live in the morning as well. Either case, I set it up as record. So that is the first thing, or the second thing is to get the software and the materials. As far as the setup steps, it's almost overwhelmingly easy. And although I took really an hour and a half to go through all the things that I teach when I teach a full green screening class, there's only 4 steps. Number one, set up your green screen. And a caveat to that is if you don't have good lighting, backlight it as well. Here at school where I have a green wall, I am not backlit at all. The neon lights, the LCD lights above me right here are more than enough to backlight this wall and cause it to green screen great. At home in my basement where I have my green screen, I had to buy some LED shop lights that I set up to backlight the green behind me, and that just keeps it from getting the speckling, and you get more of a professional look if you have your green screen backlit. So number one, set up a green screen, get it backlit. Number 2, install OBS Studio. It's about as easy as you can get. Just download and install it. And then number 3 and 4 is what I'm going to show you how to do today, which is what really you might need a little bit of help for. Step 3 is to set up what sources OBS Studio is going to use. So OBS Studio, when you first open it, looks just like this. It's all gray and black, and you've got no inputs, no nothing set up, and you have to add everything that you want to add. So here in the sources pane down here is where we're going to add the sources that we're going to work with in OBS Studio. And sources are any sounds or images you want to have in your video. So we've got basically 3 different kinds of images in my mind. We've got pictures, we've got videos, and then we've got capture of our screen. Many times teachers are going to want to use that, and then whatever's on their screen is what gets backdropped behind them. You can make PowerPoints to transition between different backdrops that you're using, however you want to do that. So I'm going to show you, first of all, adding those sources. You just right-click in the Sources pane and go to Add, and there's a whole list of sources that you can do. Pictures are images, so you just pick images, and you can name the image, especially if you're going to use it more than once. And when you say OK, then it just says, well, where is this image you want to add? And then you just browse to the image and select it. So we've selected a picture of the Battle of Gettysburg, and then I can just drag it to be the background of what I'm going to talk about. So if I'm talking about the Battle of Gettysburg in my class, maybe I've got an image of a background of the Battle of Gettysburg while I'm talking. If I click the same pane for sources there, I can click Add, and I can also add media. So if I go and add media source instead, now I'm just browsing to a video instead that I might want to play behind me. And there I've got a video, and I could stretch it to the full size of my screen and say loop if I want the video to continue to play. And then that video would continue to loop and play as long as I had it on my screen. The last thing I want to show you is audio sources, because obviously I have to have audio. So I'm going to go to Settings over here and go to Audio, and you have to pick some kind of microphone that you want it to be your input. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this Yeti microphone that I've got in my room to be my audio input. And now you can see as I talk, there's audio being recorded as well. And I can mute the audio by clicking the speaker icon there to mute it as I see fit. So that's really the three kinds of things, that are two of the three kinds of things. The last one is the screen. So if I go and add a display, and you could see I could pick whichever one of my displays I wanted to be back there. Just by dropping down, it says display 1 and display 2, just like Windows identifies those displays. And when I'm done, I just say OK, and then I could have my display being captured as well. And this is kind of confusing because I've got this display being captured on it again and again, as you can see there. I'm going to go ahead and make that go away and just bring my image back up here. So I can add any kind of graphical interface, and there's more on there, but I just wanted to go over those couple. And then I have to add me, which is the point of green screening, or a camera. So I'm going to right click and say add in my sources a video capture device, and I'm going to say IPEVO, so I know which camera. And this is an IPEVO DO cam, which is, by the way, the lowest resolution document camera that IPEVO makes. It's $99. The advantage of it is you've got a document camera and a green screen camera at the same time if you wanted to use it for that. So you could see, look, it came in upside down. Oh no, and there's my camera and there's my green wall behind me. So I've got that image there. I'm going to right click on it and say transform, and one of the options is to rotate 180 degrees, and now I'm up and down correctly. And I could say, hey, I'm going to be down here talking about Gettysburg in the corner, and you can see that green wall behind me. After I've got myself set where I want, I can lock my camera. And by the way, if you look in the sources, it's top down, so the top source is on top of the next one, is on top of the next one. So if you can't see your camera and it's on the bottom, you just drag it up to the top and you'd be able to. Now it's not green screen. How do I change it to a green screen? I just click on the camera that I'm doing, and oops, I got the wrong one. I got display. Where's my IPEVO? There we go. I want that up top. I right click on it and I say filters. And all I do down here is I'm going to add an effect. So I hit the plus button. I'm going to add chroma key. By default, a chroma key is green, but if you add a different chroma key background, you could choose that color. It's all set. I just hit apply and I just chroma keyed myself. I've got a little imperfection on my head from this camera. I'm going to go to filters again. And I can adjust that chroma key filter a little bit. As we drag it this way, I disappear. As we drag it this way, I come back. You can see that how it does there. I can just make that imperfection on my head, which I'm not sure why that is, because it's not green. And then there we go. We're green screened in here in front of the Battle of Gettysburg. When I'm ready to go, I just hit start recording. That's it for green screening in 10 minutes or less.